na die derde skof van die Dakar tydren in Marokko. Roma in 'n Mitsubishi is 6 sekondes voor nog 'n Mitsubishi jaar, Hiroshi Matsuoka van Japan, en 54 sekondes voor die Fransman Bruno Sabu in 'n Volkswagen. Die Suid-Afrikaners Geniel de Villiers en Alfie Cox is 9de en 15de. In die motorfietsafdeling is die Fransman Cyril Depré die algehele...
A brave man takes the road less traveled. A true adventurer makes a road where none exists. The Dakar Rally, only on Supersport. Proudly sponsored by Total Quartz Lubricants.
Welcome to Africa. The serious business has really started for the Dakar competitors in Morocco. All had to adapt to a far tougher terrain than Europe. And navigation was crucial in the bike special. Taking off second, Isidre Esteve had to follow his roadbook and hope not to lose too much time on the other big guns. The car special was just as exciting, but certainly a lot more dusty. Jean-Louis Schlesser was eager to prove that his buggy was just as good as all the others. It was bye-bye Europe, adios España after yesterday's stage going from Portimao to Malaga. All the competitors of the 2006 Euro Milhões Dakar boarded ships for the Mediterranean crossing heading to Nador on the Moroccan coast. A total of 3 boats took the competitors to Africa. Traditional boarding for bikes, cars and trucks. A logistical nightmare that went smoothly as usual. And once on the boat, it was time to study the road books. Every detail will indeed count before the first African specials. Not a lot of time for a rest. The first competitors made it to the door early in the morning. At last, the scents and the sounds of Northern Africa. So the Dakar is on African soil, the first big stage of the event with a total of 672 kilometers in Morocco. The competitors left Nador for a 237 liaison and then really started competing on the 314 kilometer of the day's special. A totally new course with all of Morocco's classical tracks. And tonight, a first bivouac set in El Rashidia. Africa at last, what all Dakar competitors have really come for. The splendid landscapes of Morocco and the Atlas Mountains, a long and demanding stage for all, with absolutely superb conditions. And this man, Isidre Esteve Pujol, started in second position, and he had to cope with the new navigation rules. That was the main problem of the day, and a serious problem indeed for Isidre Esteve, who lost precious time. The new KTM Gauloise rider who lost a total of 12 minutes and 19 seconds on the day, finishing in 20th position. What a nightmare for the Spaniards, trying to find the good track. All the other riders were eventually to gain time on the Spaniards under the eyes of rather interested Dakar fans. David Frétinier, winner of 3 stages last year, was also keen to test his smaller 450 Yamaha in the dust. Well, he also lost precious time, 8 minutes on the day. Not good for a man who wants to worry the KTM Armada. A newcomer in the KTM Gauloise team. He'll be a support rider for title holder Cyril Després, what they call a water carrier for his mate, with whom he discovered Dakar as a privateer a few years ago. Very disappointing in the 2 European stages. Paul Anders Uleval Zeta finally found a terrain that he was more familiar on. 10th at over 7 minutes for the Norwegian, the man in green. Chris Blaze, a promising rookie last year, grabbed a good 9th spot. The American who admits he's still learning, following the trails of the more experienced riders. A privateer here, Agra Carrera, the first of the Yamaha bikers on the day. Jakob Agra Carrera, discovering the Atlas for this year, 2006. Also a privateer, this time from Portugal, Rodrigo Amaral. The Portuguese who are really impressing so far on this Euromilhões Dakar. Mark Coma, he'll be one to watch in the upcoming stages. One of the race favourites, the leader of the KTM Repsol team. Finished in 6th position, 5 minutes and 45 seconds adrift. Maybe Cyril Despres' biggest rival. Jose Manuel Pellicer of Spain, twice in the top 10 in the European stages. Well, he did even better, finishing in 5th position and only losing 4 minutes and 11 seconds despite a crash, bruised and battered KTM. In 4th place, we had Carlo De Gavaldo, the Chilean KTM Repsol rider, official rider this year on his big 660. Lost 3 minutes and 27 seconds. And this man here is Cyril Despres, very experienced indeed. Finished late yesterday, but what a smart move it was, because he left behind all his main rivals. Despres finished in 3rd position today, 3 minutes and 6 seconds adrift, but is the new overall leader. Despres winner of the first special in Portugal, and of course the winner of the 2005 Dakar. And on the way, he was to overtake his teammate David Casteux, as well as Yamaha's Frétinier. So a fine day for Despres, despite some worries on his navigation tools. Wasn't very happy with the new rule concerning speeding. That beep, beep, beep in his ears when he reaches 155 was not what made his day that enjoyable. Andy Grider, maybe the biggest surprise of the day, the KTM Red Bull American rider, a first experience on the Dakar. He clinched 2nd position. He was 3rd on the Tunisia rally, and he finished 3 minutes and 4 seconds behind this man, Andy Caldecott, a winner of 2 stages last year. The Aussie rider, who was still at home a month ago, without a starting bike for the Dakar, got a phone call from Jordi Alcaron, asking him to come to take the place of Jordi Duran. Well, satisfaction for Caldecott, satisfaction for Alcaron, and victory. So victory goes to Andy Caldecott ahead of newcomer Andy Grider. Fine performance for the American. Cyril Dupre is in third spot. The overall leader is Cyril Dupre, title holder, with a 1 minute 16 second advantage on Mark Coma.
Yeah, it was a great stage today. I really enjoyed most of the riding. It was quite good. I think where I started helped me a little with the navigation. I was able to get some assistance from the other guys' tracks as well as navigating. There was some tricky navigation in there, so I think this helped me a lot during the stage. But I had a good stage. I felt comfortable, and was quite surprised to win the stage.
Very surprised to get second place, and I owe a lot of thanks to Andy Caldecott. He helped me find the way this morning, and I had a little difficulties with the road book, and I hooked up with him, and he got me through some trouble times, and I learned a lot, and now I'm ready for the second one. But my real big days are going to come in a few when it hits the sand.
Well, Bretigny explains he was unlucky today, about 100 kilometers before refilling. The electrical system of the road book broke down, so I had to use it manually. Later on, the road book was completely blocked. Very dangerous for me. A lot of stony roads with a lot of danger through, the highest dangers. I nearly crashed twice. It was really hot, so I decided to slow down and not to attack anymore in order to end the stage safe. I really feel now that it was a good choice for me. Well, as Andreas explains that today he perfectly knew that it was not a day for victory, but only a day to get used to the navigation. He managed to stay in front, and nobody among the riders who were behind me managed to catch me. It's important to keep this rhythm.
Mucho Dakar y lo importante es tener este buen ritmo.
Rookie rider Rosa Romero is a lady who has always loved riding. She's always wanted to start the Dakar, but was never allowed to until this year. Indeed, her husband never approved, and her loved one isn't any kind of person when it comes to Dakar. Husband is Nani Roma, of course. I really enjoy riding. I met Nani thanks to this common hobby. Fortunately, he never wanted me to take part in Dakar, but year after year, I always told him that I wanted to do it. And then after many efforts, he said, all right. And so, what was the reason pushing the former biker and now Mitsubishi driver to change his mind? Well, it was the dream of her life, and it was unfair to deny her this opportunity only because she's my wife. Now she found someone who will help her, a good team, a good bike, and all she has to do is enjoy the race. So Rosa will compete in the rally with her team and has nothing to do with husband Nani. He's part of a professional team and has big responsibilities. Didn't want to worry me by his presence. Added to that, we have 2 children, and it was quite complicated. But now I found a friend of mine, Roger Odger, who will ride together with me during the whole race, and so Nani won't have to be worried because someone will be able to stay with me all the time. So the rules are clear. Everybody will be focused on his own rally, and of course Rosa will try to do just as well as beloved Joan Roma. Obviously not an easy task. I've always tried to imitate him. When we ride together, I follow him all the time, trying to learn. But he's very strong, and I do what I can. And what about the children? Who's taking care of the kids while mum and dad are on the dunes? Well, the children are with my father and her father. The other daughter is currently skiing, but we're very organized. For the moment, mum and dad are doing well. Rosa is in 107th position overall, and Nani is in the top spot of the car leaderboard.
Africa, the Western Kingdom of Morocco. The rugged beauty of the Sahara masks the danger of the route. Competitors must be vigilant or fall to the track's many traps. Mitsubishi Motors, 10 Dakar wins, 5 in a row. The 2006 Dakar Rally. See it unfold on your channel of champions. He has achieved
the car race and pressure on the shoulders of Carlos Sainz. Rather comfortable and impressive in the European stages, winning both specials. It was obviously to be a whole different story for the Spaniards now on African soil. A newcomer on the rally, he really didn't know what to expect of this Moroccan stage, especially taking off in first position with absolutely no one to follow. Well, Carlos Sainz learnt it the hard way. Navigation problems for the WRC world champion back in the early 90s. The VW Race Touareg crew got lost, looked for the right way, and ended the day losing 6 minutes and 44 seconds in 12th position. A bad day for Carlos Sainz and for his co-pilots, experienced co-pilots. Andreas Schultz, the Spaniards, El Matador, looking for the decent way to go. What a tough day for the Spaniards, but also for many others having to cope with the dust. Alfie Cox in his BMW admitted he overtook at least 200 bikers. The scenery was, however, splendid for the car drivers. The mountains of Morocco. Not a cloud in the sky, a bright sunshine. Perfect conditions for this first African stage. And it went well for Robbie Gordon, not too concerned by the dust and the guys to overtake. Starting in 13th position this morning, the Hummer driver finished 5th. A great performance for the American in his GM engined Hummer. Last year, a driver for Volkswagen. Winner of 2 stages. Can he repeat the performance this year on this big machine? Little problem there for the NASCAR driver, but he was soon to find the good track. Heavy braking, and off he speeds on. Jutta Kleinschmidt finished the fastest of the Volkswagen drivers today in 4th position, losing only 56 seconds. Winner back in 2001, driving a Mitsubishi at the time. Stéphane Péterancel pushed his Mitsubishi Pajero Evo 4 to a convincing 3rd position. The 8-time Dakar winner, 6 times on a bike, and for the last 2 years in a car, was one of the many to complain about the dust. And indeed, a lot of dust there was. Certainly not easy to overtake all the bike competitors. This quad rider, who must have had quite a scare there. Winner in 2002 and 2003, Hiroshi Masuoka managed 2nd spot driving alongside his teammate Nani Roma. And always a very spectacular driver, the Japanese champion. Here he is alongside Nani Roma. Time for a little wave, and off he goes, storming to the finish line. Well, Masuoka was only to be beaten by one man, and for only 9 seconds. Monsieur Jean-Louis Schlesser back in the limelight. The Frenchman hadn't won a special since 2001 when he had clinched 7 successes. Two-time Dakar winner in 99 and 2000, wins the first African special and proves that his V8 engined buggy is just as good as all the other official cars. And back with Nani Roma. Has to settle for 6th position today, but a good performance, which means that he's the new overall leader of the event. Janil de Villiers finished 9th on the day, losing 2 minutes and 28 seconds. South African, a former Nissan pickup driver last season. Nasser Al Attiyah of Qatar, the best of the BMW X-Ray drivers. His second year with BMW. Carlos Souza, who left his native land of Portugal just a day ago, impressed during the first special, finishing in 7th position. And here's another race to Areg with Stéphane Henrard. He finished 17th today, losing close to 12 minutes. Explaining that he is always in 5th and 6th gear. Close to 180 kilometers an hour. And Henrard will certainly be one to watch in the fast stages of this Dakar. Indeed, one of the problems was overtaking all the bike competitors. With a Sentinel system working for everyone. Henri Pescarolo, a legend on the Dakar. And dust for all the competitors. Dust and worries on the side of the tracks. And a big crash for this car. The car of crew, the French crew of Thomas, who was forced to quit the race after only one African stage. So victory for Jean-Louis Schlesser ahead of Hiroshi Masuoka. Peter Hansel is 3rd, Klein Schmidt 4th, Robbie Gordon in 5th position. The overall standings with Nani Roma for the first time in his career on 4 wheels leads the overall, the winner of the 2004 bike race. Jean-Louis Schlesser explains that the car did well today, and François Borsotto, his co-driver, did excellent navigation. When you win a stage, the problem is that you don't have many things to say to the journalists because everything went well. But it is a problem I would like to face again. Tomorrow will be the first drivers to take off. It'll be tougher. But we want to win the Dakar and absolutely need to make it to Nouakchott, in touch with the leaders, or even better, to be in the lead.
Very, very fast today. Yeah, at the beginning, all the way to flat. 170, 175 kilometers per hour, so very fast. My impression is Morocco is at the beginning is slower, and the technical, but today is very fast.
Well, today, explains Peter Hansel, we overtook a lot of bikes. First time since I'm in a car that I have to overtake so many bikes. Maybe it's because this year we have the highest amount of competitors even ever in the Dakar. This morning we have been overtaking all the time. The Sentinel device on all bikes is useful and well adapted, but I think that the organisation of the race should do another briefing with the bikers to make them understand that when they hear the alarm of the Sentinel, it's not useful anymore to attack, because we're behind, ready to overtake. So to the truck race with the same 314 kilometers of special, and obviously even more dust for the big machines. Brazilian Andre de Azevedo in his Tatra truck suffered quite a few problems today. And the Brazilian, who was forced to quit in last year's event, had to stop to repair a puncture. And obviously, on such a big machine, well, it takes time. Andre de Azevedo eventually finishing in 6th position, losing 25 minutes on the day's winner. Not exactly a Formula One tyre change, but then again. Well, I was in 5th or 6th gear, explains De Azevedo, coming very fast, just over there, and all of a sudden, I got a puncture. Puncture repaired, and off they went. De Azevedo, who will be wanting to eventually finish on the podium in Dakar. Vladimir Chagin carried on, impressing a 3rd stage success for the Russian, who had won the last 2 Dakar stages of last year's event. Well, he really stormed to victory today. Tomorrow the Dakar heads further south but remains in Morocco, a 639-kilometer stage, including 386 kilometers of special. Sandy stretches and stone tracks, navigation will be even more important. The eyes will be set on the road books. That's it for today, a well-deserved rest in Air Rashidia before more drama in this 28th edition of the Dakar.